Prabhu. And I think, Dr. Sehgal, you have some more, some more information. But our Prabhu is our guest speaker here, and understand a resident of Vrindavan, so Brijvasi, sometimes we say. And I know Prabhu's Gurudev very well from back in Canada and India and different places, so we have some connection through gurus and whatnot. But for a more formal introduction, Dr. Sehgal, who is our temple president, comes off every Sunday along with wife. And Mrs. sets up a beautiful gift shop there in our table, so I always look at those tables. They're looking more crowded and more beautiful every Sunday.
Thank you, Panditji. That was a very nice introduction and a good history lesson for people who are new to our congregation. Please, I'd like to give another round of applause for Roshanji or Naram introduction. Thank you very much for arranging this program. I am proud to announce that Shri Radhakrishna Das Brahmachari Prabhuji, he is going to be talking on Bhakti Yoga today. He's from Sri Dham Vrindavan. He's 21 years old, but he's a Jnani already, and age has no correlation with knowledge. And he's a very knowledgeable person, and he speaks a lot in a variety of places. He was born in Gujarat. And interestingly, he completed his elementary and some of his high school training in Placentia over here. And after that, he found in his mind in Placentia.
Here?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
See, something that
That's where
didn't know. And at age of 16, he went back to India because he says that the routine schooling was not for him, and he wanted to gain spiritual knowledge. Since then, he has learned Sanskrit and other Dharma granths, and he preaches his words according to his philosophy. He is fluent in Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, and English. He will be talking about Bhakti Yoga, and I will let him deal with the definition and all the varieties of Bhakti that we have. At the end of the session, he will allow 5 to 10 minutes for questions and answers. And he will be available for private audiences as well. So please take advantage and please give a round of applause to Prabhuji.
Can you make the volume a little louder?
We can do.
Yes.
You just start talking, I'll make it louder.
Okay. So first we will have little Kirtan Bhajan glorifying Shri Krishna in Vrindavan, and then we will start with our discourse. The audience is requested to kindly repeat the wordings of this Kirtan song that I am just about to sing. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन यामुन तीरवनचारी यामुन तीरवनचारी यामुन तीरवनचारी यामुन तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा जय कुंज गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन यामुन तीरवनचारी यामुन तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण गाइए हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम Varya Ashtottar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ho Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Varya Ashtottar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavad Gita Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran Ki Yuga Dharma Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Ho Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deepandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vamcha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
So,
I think the chosen language of our current lecture will be English, because I am seeing that there are many members of the audience who will solely be understanding English language. So I will utilize English language, and thereby most of the benefits, most of the audience can be benefited. And from time to time, intermittently, I will also use Hindi statements and some of the central most themes of the discourse. I will endeavor to translate them in Hindi language. So, in the very beginning of our present day's discourse, I would like to initially offer my most respectfully prostrated obeisances unto the lotus feet of their divine lordships, Shri Shri Radha and Shyama Sundar Dev, along with their eternal and divine companions and associates such as Shri Lalita Devi, Shri Vishakha Devi, Shri Rupa Rati Manjari, etc. And along with them, I would also like to submit my most respectfully prostrated homages unto the lotus feet of their divine lordships, Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shri Shri Nityananda Prabhu, along with their transcendental divine entourage such as Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, and all the 6 Goswamis of Shri Dham Vrindavan. Finally, I would also like to pay my obeisances and due respects unto His Divine Grace, Abhaya Charanar Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has, being an adept, very artistically propagated the doctrine of Krishna consciousness imbued with pure devotional transcendental mellows throughout this world in this present modern era in a most unique and fantastic unprecedented way. Conclusively, I would now like to commence our context under discussion, especially the context of glorifying Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, Krishna Bhakti, especially the devotional service of Lord Shri Krishna, and the analytical science depicting the profound depths of devotional service intended for satisfying the lotus feet of the Lord. So, first let us understand. We will have a 1-hour discourse starting from now. And first let us understand the real ontological position, the factual ontological position, and the factual glorification and supremacy of Bhagavan Shri Krishna Chandra. So, in the Shastras, we will use the Shastras as the backbone of our today's current discussion. Because Bhagavan Shri Krishna has stated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, in the last portion of 16th chapter, he has stated, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Vyavasthitau, that especially within the religious matters, especially within the concept of spirituality and within the religious matters, within the spiritual science and spiritual knowledge, if any principle has to be decided, if we want to reach any particular type of judgment regarding some particular spiritual aspect, then we must take as our sole benign, bona fide and authorized authority the Shastras. Shastras means the scriptures. So, these scriptures, like the 4 Vedas, Rig Veda Samhita, Yajur Veda Samhita, Atharva Veda Samhita and Sama Veda Samhita, and then there are 108 Upanishads known as Shruti Mala, beginning from Ishavasya Upanishad down to the last 108th Upanishad known as Muktika Upanishad. And then we have Shri Mahabharata, Shri Valmiki Ramayana, different types of Pancharatras, Tantras, Samhitas, Agam, Nigam, Shruti, Smriti, 18 different Mahapuranas, etc. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita is part of Shri Mahabharata. So, all these are to be considered the original Vedic literatures or Vedic scriptures or the scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. They are known as Vedic Dharma Shastra. And the Sanatana Vedic Dharma or the eternal Vedic religion is solely found on, is solely based on, is solely established on the sound and firm basis of the Vedic Shastras or the Vedic scriptures. And for that reason, it has been declared in Hari Puran by Bhagavan Shri Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasadeva that Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adal Madhye Cha Antye Cha Harihi Sarvatra Giyate Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha. Bhagavan Shri Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasadeva, who is also none other than Bhagavan Shri Narayan, the husband of the goddess of fortune, Shri Ramadevi, Shri Kamala Padmavati Lakshmi Devi. That Bhagavan Narayan, who is the beloved of Ramadevi, the goddess of fortune, Shri Lakshmi or Rama. Ramesh or Kamalesh, Padmanabh, Suresh, Bhagavan Shri Vishnu, Narayan, he is the one who has incarnated as Krishna Dvaipayana, Satyavati Sut, Badrayana Vyasadeva. And thus he has divided and he has expanded the one Yajurveda Samhita, the one already pre-existing Yajurveda Samhita into 4 divisions of 4 Vedas. He is the one who has divided. So, in Skanda Puran, there is a very nice story being mentioned by Lord Vyasadeva. In Skanda Puran, it is written that once upon a time, especially at the end of the Dwapar era, at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, when Dwapar Yuga was about to reach its time limit or its completion, during that time, many of the different major devatas or demigods, very respectable devatas and demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Varuna, Yamaraj, Surya, Chandra, etc. They all went and prayed unto Lord Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, who is resting and lying down there in the milk ocean, there in the Kshiva Sagar, Payokti Sagar, and they requested the Lord to incarnate so that the Vedic scriptures and the Vedic Dharma Shastras and the tradition of continuing the Vedic Dharma Shastras and the knowledge contained within those respective scriptures may continue to exist. So in order to make the Vedic knowledge continue to exist, they requested Lord Narayana to incarnate in a special form of Jnana Avatar. So Lord Narayana, upon being requested by such demigods, he himself incarnated down on this earthly mundane platform as Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasadeva, as the son of Parashara Muni and from the womb of Mother Satyavati. So, evam sankirna pragyair brahmadibhir abhyarthito Bhagavan Veda Vyasah Avibhavayamas. That Lord Vyasadeva, thus being prayed by, thus being requested by the humble and submissive earnest prayers and plea of the demigods, he incarnated, he made his downward descent on this mundane platform. So, Bhagavan Vyasadeva, he is the one who has put the already pre-existing oral tradition of the Vedic scriptures into the written form. It is not that the Vedas, Puranas and the other Dharma Shastras have been compiled or have been manufactured or have been written or have been made up by Vyasadeva. No. Even before Vyasadeva's advent on this mundane mortal platform, these Dharma Shastras were quite pre-existing. They are eternal because the Sanatana Vedic Dharma is considered eternal, is considered in existence from without beginning. It is considered in existence, and that existence of Sanatana Vedic Dharma has no date in the history. And that is why the Vedic Dharma Shastras, propounding and establishing the principles of Sanatana Vedic Dharma, they are also eternal. So, both the Dharma Shastras and the Vedic Dharma, they are eternal. They are as old as each other. That means, since they have no beginning, they are without beginning and without end. They are completely Shashvat, Nitya and inexhaustible, Avyaya and eternal, perpetual. So, the Shastras are the only benign, unquestionable authority. Shastras are the only proper source of evidence when we talk about spiritual matters. That is the point that we are going to come to now. Shastras are the only proper, most authorized and most bona fide, unquestionable source for getting transcendental and inconceivable knowledge. Because Bhagavan is transcendental to the 3 modes of material nature, namely mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, sattva guna, rajo guna and tamo guna. And for that reason, since everything within this mundane world, be it animate, inanimate, be it sentient, insentient, be it cognitive, incognitive, be it movable, immovable, be it animate, inanimate, be it conscious, unconscious, be it dead or alive, inert or any such type of object or entity or thing found within this material world, they are all either under the influence of the 3 modes of material nature, or they are the products of the 3 modes of material nature. And because Bhagavan, who is beyond these 3 modes, That is why even Adi Shankaracharya Bhagavad Pad says in the beginning of his Shankar Bhashya on Bhagavad Gita, Narayana Hamaro Vyakta Anta Vyakta Sambhavam Sapta Syamtas Tume Loka Sapta Dvipachamini. So Narayana is completely beyond both the manifest and unmanifest forms of subtle matter. Prakriti Maya is completely beyond Maya and the three gunas, three modes of Maya. For that reason, Lord Narayana is considered inconceivable, and all the related paraphernalia of Lord Narayana, like his transcendental names, like his transcendental divine multifarious forms, variegated forms, like his different attributes and qualities, like his different divine deeds, exploits, pastimes and transcendental activities, and like his divine associates and devotees. All these related paraphernalia of Lord Narayana, of Lord Vishnu is also simultaneously inconceivable and imperceptible to the mundane thinking and to the mundane limited mortal eye. And for that reason, only Shastras, the scriptural evidence, the Shabda Praman, the transcendental sound vibration, only that can be considered the proper source for knowing in reality all the different aspects of spirituality, transcendentalism, religion and Bhagavan himself. And so Lord Krishna says that Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. The religion is directly made by the Lord. There is no other cause for religion or dharma. Bhagavan is the only original cause of dharma or religion. And Bhagavan is also the original cause of Dharma Shastra or the Vedic scriptures. Because it is said in Upanishads that all these Vedic scriptures like Upanishad, Puran, Vedanta, Ved, etc. they have all become manifest. They have all become emanated from the exhalation, from the outward breath, from the exhalation of Lord Mahavishnu, Karanodakshai Mahavishnu. So, all Dharma Shastras are also eternal and transcendental, having directly been manifest from Lord Vishnu. They are also eternal, and the Dharma itself is also eternal. Both the Dharma and the Dharma Shastras, they are resting on the common same ground, and that is Lord Narayana. So, the Dharma Shastras are the only proper source of evidence when we decide about the transcendental inconceivable matters. Our own concoction, our own speculation cannot decide anything, because we are limited, our knowledge is limited, our perception is limited, and that is why we cannot know that which is unlimited, that which is rather imperceptible, that which is rather inconceivable. And that is why Sri Krishna Chandra says in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Karya Vyavasthitau. What ought to be done and what ought not to be done, that has to be decided only on the basis and authority of Shastra. So now let us start establishing the supremacy of Bhagavan Shri Krishna Chandra on the basis of Shastra. Now, since we have become quite well acquainted and aware with the importance, the significance and the only reliability of the Shastras, there is no other reliability when we talk about spiritual matters apart from the Shastra. So now let us start considering the supremacy of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and his ontological position, and then we shall start considering the importance or significance of Shri Krishna Bhakti, that means devotional service unto the lotus feet of that transcendental Lord, Bhagavan Shri Krishna Chandra. But first we have to understand Krishna, then we can understand Krishna Bhakti. Yes? Because the word Krishna Bhakti is a compound word. It's a samas. Samas means it's a joint compound word. And compound word, if we want to understand it perfectly, then we have to understand each constituent of the compound word. So the first constituent of the phrase Krishna Bhakti is Krishna. So first we have to understand Krishna, and then we have to understand Bhakti, and then we will be able to understand Krishna Bhakti. Yes, constituent has to be understood first, and then the whole phrase can be understood. So what is the supreme autocratic par excellent position of Bhagavan Shri Krishna? The Shastras are very clear about that. There is no scope of any suspicion, any doubt, and any so-called abstract vague idea prevailing the realm of ascertaining who is the highest form of Godhead. there is no question in that regard. So first let us start from Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, because Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran is considered to be Sarva Shastra Shiromani, Sarva Shastra Chakravarti. How? In Garuda Puran, Lord Vyasadeva writes, establishing the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, the topmost form of evidence. There are many different Vedic literatures, there are many different Puranas, there are many different other Vedas, Upanishads, Panchavatra, Tantra, Samhita, Agam, Nigam, Shruti, Smriti, Vedanta Sutra, etc. But Srimad Bhagavatam is the crest jewel, is the topmost jewel, and it occupies the topmost position among all the different types of Vedic Dharma Granthas and Dharma Shastras. How? Because Bhagavan Shri Vedavyas, who is the original compiler of all the different types of Vedic literatures, all the 18 Puranas have been compiled by Vyasadeva, all the 4 Vedas have been compiled by him, all the Upanishads have been compiled by him, the Vedanta Brahma Sutra has been compiled by him, Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita being included within Mahabharata has been compiled by him. All the major literatures have been compiled by Vyasadeva. So now, what is the opinion of Bhagavan Vyasadeva, who is Jagat Guru? Who is Jagat Guru of the whole Sanatana Vedic Dharma, and who all the different sects and cults and branches of Sanatana Vedic Dharma regard with equal vision, respect with equal vision. And that Bhagavan Vyasadeva, the incarnation of Lord Narayana, Krishna Dvaipayanam Vidhi Sakshat Narayanam Prabhu. Parashar has said in Vishnu Puran to Maitreya that this Krishna Dvaipayan Vyasadeva is Sakshat Narayana, is directly the personality of Godhead Shri Vishnu. So what Bhagavan Narayana has suggested in his another compilation, another treatise known as Garuda Puran, which is among the 18 Mahapuranas. So in Garuda Puran, Bhagavan Vyasadeva says, revealing and excavating the actual glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says there in Garuda Puran, Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam Bharatartha Vinirnayah Gayatri Bhashya Rupo Asau Vedartha Paribrahmitah Puranam Samarupah Sakshad Bhagavatoditah Dvadasha Skandha Yuktoyam Srimad Bhagavatoditah Dvadasha Skandha Yuktoyam Srimad Bhagavatavidah. So, in these 2 shlokas of Garuda Puran, Vyasadeva establishes Srimad Bhagavatam as the par excellent authority among all the Vedic literatures. So, Arthoyam Brahma Sutrana. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Brahma Sutra or the Vedanta Darshan. Then, Bharatartha Vinirnaya. Srimad Bhagavatam is also the most final explanation of Sri Mahabharata and of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is included within Mahabharata. Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam Bharatartha Vinirnaya Gayatri Bhashya Ruposam. Srimad Bhagavatam is not only explanation of Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita and the Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Darshan, but it is also the explanation on the Brahma Gayatri Mantra, which is Vedamata, which is the mother of 4 Vedas. Bhagavatam explains the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra, who is the mother of the 4 Vedas. Gayatri Bhashya Rupo Asau Vedartha Paribrahmitah. And Bhagavatam is not only that, it serves a more greater significance, that in the sense that Bhagavatam is Vedartha Paribrahmitah. It elaborates and expands the indirect statements of the Vedas, and it makes the so-called indirect statements of Vedas elucidated and clear in definition. And not only that, it makes the incomplete part of the 4 Vedas rather complete. Paribrahmitah, Vedartha Paribrahmitah. Puranam Samarupah. Just like Samaveda is considered greatest among all the 4 Vedas, so Srimad Bhagavatam is considered greatest among all the Puranas. Puranam Samarupah Sakshat Bhagavatoditah, because it has been directly spoken by Lord Narayana in the form of Chatushloki Bhagavatam to Brahma. So, Srimad Bhagavatam has such a far excellent position that in Bhagavatam it is written Sarvavimeti Hasanam Saram Saram Samudritam, that Bhagavatam is the conclusion and core essence of all the other Vedic literatures. Saram Saram Samudritam. And then Vyasadeva says that after studying Bhagavatam, what need remains of making the perusal of any other form of Vedic literature. That means any study of any other type of Vedic literature is not considered essential, mandatory or compulsory if one has properly understood the purport and the import of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the crest jewel of all Vedic Shastras. That is what in Padma Purana, when the story comes that Narada Mahamuni in Sridham Vrindavan at the end of Dwapar Yuga, at that time Narada Mahamuni tries to satisfy Bhakti Maharani by trying to bring the two sons of Bhakti Maharani, Gyan and Vairagya, back to the awakened physical state from their state of coma. So at that time, Narada Mahamuni tries, Narada, who is the son of Brahma and who is one of the greatest liberated devotees of Bhagavan Narayana, he himself tries to, and Narada is also Guru of Vyasadeva, spiritual master, preceptor of Vyasadeva. So Narada, he personally recites not only the four Vedas and the Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Darshan, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, but he recites all the other Puranas, Mahabharata, and all the other types of Vedic scriptures many times, not one time, many times he recites Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, and the Vedas. But what's the result? The coma of Jnana and Vairagya doesn't cease, doesn't become destroyed or perished. So afterwards, Narada finally takes resort of Srimad Bhagavatam. He finally takes the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, and once he hears Srimad Bhagavatam from the mouth of the four Kumaras, Sanat, Sanandana, Sanatan and Sanat Kumar, then immediately the so-called distressed condition of Gyan and Vairagya, who are the two sons of Bhakti Maharani, becomes destroyed, and Gyan and Vairagya again regain their original, natural, blissful condition, and Bhakti Maharani, along with personified Gyan and Vairagya, all these three become completely jubilant in joy. So we can understand that Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, Brahma Sutra, the four Vedas, and all other types of Vedic literatures, they cannot be compared to Srimad Bhagavatam, because even after that recitation, Gyan and Vairagya were not able to regain their original position, but just by mere recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, they regained their original position. And ultimately, Bhagavan Vyasadeva, after writing all the Vedic literatures, was still dissatisfied within his heart until he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto, 5th chapter, Narada meets Vyasadeva. Narada asks, "Oh Vyasa, why are you dissatisfied?" Vyasa says, "I have written Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, Ved, Vedanta, Puranas, but I am still dissatisfied." Then Narada says, "You have described the actual glories of Shri Krishna and Krishna's bhakti, and only then you can become satisfied, otherwise as not." So Vyasadeva, following the order of Narada, writes Srimad Bhagavatam, and after writing Srimad Bhagavatam, he becomes completely satisfied, and then he puts his pen down forever. And up to the date, the fact recorded in the history of Sanatana Dharma is that Vyasadeva has not written, has not compiled any other literature, any other book after Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is his last compilation. And that is why Srimad Bhagavatam, Veda Vedanta Ghoshaishcha Gita Pathair Muhur Muhu. Narada recited Vedas, Vedanta means Brahma Sutra and Gita many times, Muhur Muhu, but still had no effect. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate last recourse and the most important type of Dharma Shastra, Dharma Grantha, and the most exalted form of evidence and the scripture. So based on Srimad Bhagavatam, now we will try to understand what is the position of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So, in the very first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prathama Skanda Tritiya Adhyaya, first canto, third chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the very beginning, so to say, in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavan Vyasadeva, he is writing, and actually he is writing, he is transcribing the conversation which is taking place between the 88,000 sages, ascetics of Naimisharanya forest, and the head or the chancellor of these 88,000 rishis or sages of Naimisharanya was Shaunaka Mahamuni. So there is a conversation between Shaunaka Mahamuni and Sut Paurani, also known as Sut Goswami Ji. So there was conversation between Sut Goswami Ji and Shaunak Muni. And Shaunak Muni has asked Sut Goswami that Bhagavan Narayan has how many incarnations? How many avatars? भगवान नारायण की कितने अवतार हैं, कितने रूपों में, कितने विस्तारों में भगवान विस्तारित होते हैं अथवा अपने आप को आत्म प्रकट करते हैं. In how many different transcendental divine forms is Lord Narayan manifest? So, replying to this question of Shaunak Ji, Sut Goswami is saying that there are 22 main avatars or incarnations, although there are unlimited incarnations, but main principal 22 incarnations of Godhead. Then he describes each incarnation, each avatar, one by one in a sequential and chronological order. So, he also counts Shri Krishna and Shri Balaram as one of the incarnations in his enumeration. In his enumeration, in his listing of manifold incarnations, he counts Shri Krishna and Shri Balaram also as one of them, as one of the other incarnations. Like Varahadev, Matsya, Kurma, Narsingha, all these different avatars of Bhagavan Hari or Vishnu. So he counts, Sutaji counts Shri Krishna and Balaram as one of those incarnations, and he makes their position equal to the other avatars, other incarnations. But then, after the enumeration is complete, after the listing of incarnations is completed, Sutaji thinks within his mind that something is going wrong here. I am not exactly presenting the reality as it should be presented. I am not exactly presenting the reality, the factual truth as it should be presented. So he again tries to correct his statement. And then he says, Ede cham shakala punsaha krishnastu bhagavan swayam indraya vyakulam logam mridayanti yuge yuge ede cham shakala punsaha. Sutaji says, the other incarnations and avatars about whom I have mentioned, they are certainly expansions or expansions or anshas of Bhagavan Narayan. Pumsaha means Bhagavan Narayan. Ete cha anshakalaha pumsaha. The different avatars like Varahadev, Vatsyadev, Kurmadev, Narsinghadev, etc. They are all expansions or expansions of the expansions of Bhagavan, Mahavishnu or Narayan. Ete chanchkalaha pumsa. But, now, the turning point. But, Krishna tu Bhagavan swayam. But, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who appeared in Vrindavan, Mathura and Dwarka and performed his transcendental sportive pastimes in these three places, that Bhagavan Shri Krishna is not to be counted on an equal position as these other avatars, because Bhagavan Shri Krishna is neither one of the other incarnations, is neither like one of the other incarnations, Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, etc. And he's not even like the original source for those incarnations, that is Mahavishnu Bhagavan Narayan. He's something above, he was that. So he says, Krishna tu Bhagavan swayam. But, tu means but here. So, but all the other incarnations may be the expansions of Bhagavan Karavatakshayi Mahavishnu Narayan. But Shri Krishna is a different case. Krishna tu Bhagavan swayam. Krishna is rather swayam Bhagavan. What do we mean by swayam Bhagavan? What is the difference between Bhagavan and Swayam Bhagavan and Devata? Devata means demigods appointed by Bhagavan who have some supernatural powers given by Bhagavan and who rule over different departments of this universe, who are in charge of the universal affairs like Indradev, Brahma, Shiva, Varuna, Yamaraj, etc. These are all different devatas or highly respected demigods who are having some supernatural powers given by Lord Narayan. But Lord Narayan is Bhagavan, and all the other incarnations like Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, Narsingha, etc. they are also considered Bhagavan because they are no different from Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan himself manifests in these different forms of Matsya, Narsingha, Kurma, Varaha, etc. That's the concept of Srimad Bhagavatam. But what's the difference now between Bhagavan and Swayam Bhagavan? The difference is explained by Lord Brahma himself. ब्रह्मा जी स्वयं इस भेद को, इस तारतम्य को समझा रहे हैं, जो तारतम्य श्री भगवान और स्वयं भगवान इन दो श्रेणियों के मध्यस्थ व्याप्त है, इन दो श्रेणियों के बीच में विद्यमान है, उस तारतम्य को, उस भेद को अब बता रहे हैं। भगवान ब्रह्मा स्वयं अपनी मौलिक रचना, अपनी मौलिक कृति श्री ब्रह्म संहिता नामक अति प्राचीन ग्रंथ में। So in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma himself states that he gives one example. He says, Ramani Murti Shukalariyamena Tirishtan Nanavatar Makaran Bhavaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramah Pumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship, I adore, I venerate and I revere that most original primeval personality of Godhead, Adi Purush, Bhagavan Shri Govind, Shri Krishna, Shri Shyama Sundar of Shri Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. I worship that original, most original primeval form of Godhood, most Adi Root, most original form of Godhood, Govind Dev, Shri Krishna of Shri Dham Vrindavan. Who is of what nature? Whose glories are of what type? Yes, Ramadi Murti Shukalanyamena Tishthan, whose glories are such that even Lord Ramachandra, even Narsimhadev, even Narayana, Vishnu, and other forms like Varaha, Vaman, etc., they are all just but Kala or anshas of that Shri Krishna. They are expansions or expansions of Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna being the most original form of Godhood. So Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishthan Nana Avadara Makaro Bhuvaneshu Kintu, and all the other manifold incarnations are all originally coming from Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Then Brahmaji gives another example to substantiate and to vividly illuminate this point, and he says, Deepachire Vahita Shantaram Abhyupetya Deepayate Vivita Hetu Samana Dharma Yastatrige Vahicha Vishnutaya Vidhati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That I worship that Bhagavan Govind Dev of Vrindavan, that Krishna of Vrindavan, who is compared to an original candle. And now there are many hundreds and thousands of other candles. Candle or a ghee lamp. Deepak, ghee lamp. So Shri Krishna of Vrindavan is the original ghee lamp. And all other ghee lamps, may they be 100 in number, 1000 in number, or innumerable in number, all the other types of ghee lamps, they are rather dependent on the original ghee lamp. Although there is one common similarity between all the ghee lamps, and that is that the fire or the potency of illumination that all the other ghee lamps have is of the same caliber, is of the same sterling standard. Yes, some of the दीपकों के ऊपर जो दीप शिखा, जो प्रकाश की शक्ति है, वो तो एक जैसी ही है. Yes, it's of the same sterling standard and caliber. वो तो एक जैसी ही है. समस्त दीपकों के ऊपर जो दीप शिखा है, जो वाहनी शिखा, अग्नि शिखा प्रज्वलित है, प्रकाशित है, वो तो एक ही तरह की है. पर अंतर क्या? मूल दीपक के बगैर, मूल दीपक के विहीन होकर, मूल दीपक से रहित होकर अन्य दीपकों की सत्ता ही नहीं हो सकते. The original lamp is the original lamp, and other lamps, although may be of the same quality, potency, power and opulence, but they are ultimately dependent on the original lamp, because without the original lamp, other lamps could not have been lit for that reason. Shri Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan, Shri Krishna of Vrindavan, his Bhagavatta, his Godhood doesn't depend upon any other form of God. His Godhood is self-dependent, and that is why he is known as Swayam Bhagavan, who has Bhagavatta or Godhood dependent upon his own form or on his own self is known as Swayam Bhagavan. Whereas the other forms of Bhagavan like Varaha, Matsya, Narasimha, Kurma, Narayana, their Godhood is dependent, their Bhagavatta is dependent upon Shri Krishna of Vrindavan. Although they are the same person, This is the most astonishing aspect. So, Shri Brahmaji again says the same thing. What he says in Brahma Samhita, he again says the same type of statement in Bhagavatam 14th chapter 10th canto. When he comes to Shri Krishna in Vrindavan and he apologizes for his offense. He says, Krishna, forgive me, I have tried to test you. And Shri Krishna, who is only 7 years of age at that time, or 8 years of age at the time of Govardhan Dharan Leela. So, Brahmaji comes to Vrindavan and he prays to 8-year-old Krishna and he says, Oh Krishna, you are not a devata, you are not a demigod, you are not an ordinary human being, first of all. First of all, you are not an ordinary human being. You are not a common living entity, you are not even a devata or a great demigod like Indra, Brahma, Surya, Varuna, Chandra, etc. You are not even devata. Then, you are not even Bhagavan Narayan or Vishnu, the head, the controller of all the devatas. Then, you are the original source, the father of Bhagavan Narayan. Krishna says, how is that? I am just an 8-year-old boy. I am just a cowherd boy. मैं तो गोप जाति में जन्मा हुआ एक साधारण अहिर का छोरा हूँ, एक गठरिया का बालक हूँ, एक गोप जाति में जन्मा हुआ साधारण बालक हूँ. आप मुझे नारायण का भी मूल स्रोत बता रहे हैं? So Brahma says, yes, I know because I am the son of Narayan. Ha? Garbhodakshai Bhagavan Vishnu, he is my father. Because from the lotus stem, Pankaj, Padma, from the lotus stem or emanating from the navel of Bhagavan Garbhodakshai Vishnu, I have taken birth. But since you are the original cause and source even for Garbhodakshai Bhagavan Vishnu Narayan, that is why I consider you to be the original Swayam Bhagavan. And that is why he says, Narayanastvam nahi sarvadehinam atmasya dhisha khilaloka sakshi Narayano andadara bhujalayana tachapi satyam na tavaiva maya. So, O Krishna of Vrindavan, you are the most original form, even the source of Bhagavan Narayan. So I bow down upon you who are of such a glory and nature. 2 minutes. Okay. So, this Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and now the devotional service or the bhakti or the prem or the loving devotional service unto Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who is of such a far excellent glory. Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mattah parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya mani sarvavidam protam sutri maniganaiva, that there is nothing in this universe which is more excellent or exalted than myself. So Krishna of Vrindavan is the most exalted form of Godhood, and the Ragatmika type of devotional service. Ragatmika, which is a very special type of bhakti, devotional service, is considered to be the highest form of devotional service. And what do we mean by Ragatmika is the same love, the same type of affection, the same type of prayer, the same type of mood that the gopis, the cowherd damsels of Vrindavan had for Shri Krishna is considered the most highest form of bhakti, the most highest form of devotion by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is why the whole instruction is summarized only in one verse. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Padayah Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramyatha Chidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has propounded is that Shri Krishna of Vrindavan is the highest form of worshipable, is the highest form of God to be worshipped. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanayam Tadhama Vrindavanam. And his abode, his dham is Vrindavan Dham. And what is the highest form of worship? What is the far excellent method and style of worship? Ramya Kachi Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita. That method, that approach of worship, that style of devotion which is used by the cowherd damsels, by the gopis of Braja. The way how they worship Shri Krishna is the highest form of worship. And wherein, from which source all this knowledge is derived? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam, from the most spotless type of evidence among Praman, Sarva Shastra Shiromani, Sarva Kalama Shiromani, Srimad Bhagavatam, this knowledge is derived. And what is the highest goal of life? Prema Pumartho Mahan. Certainly, unalloyed transcendental love for the lotus feet of the Lord is the supreme, supermost goal of life. Not even dharma, not even artha, not even kam, not even ultimate moksha, or so-called religious duties of varnashram dharma, or economic development, or sense gratification, or even liberation from this material world. These are not the highest goals of life. The highest goal of life is Pancham Purusharth, the fifth goal, and that is Prema Bhakti, that is devotion, loving devotion unto the lotus feet of Vrindavan Vihari, Vrindavan Chandra Shri Shyam Sundar Krishna. This is the instruction, this is the sum total of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, Shri Gaur Sundar Bhagwan's instructions to the living entities, to the Jivatmas of this world. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Vatamagar Tatra Narunaparaha, and this instruction is the same instruction that Shri Krishna has given at the last part of Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, and Manmana Bhagavad Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Shri Bhagwan ki, Shri Shri Lakshmi Narayana Bhagwan ki, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki, Nidari Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. So now the time for the discourse has reached its completion. So please make the further announcements. Hare Krishna.
On behalf of our temple community,